Your Town's 70th Anniversary Edition in Abingdon is brought to you by Cary Street Partners.
This year, WCYB is celebrating 70 years of serving Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia by visiting different towns and cities across our region and honoring the people, the present, and the future of the places that we are proud to call home. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Kwan.
And I'm Casey Guest. Tonight, we are live in Abingdon at the Martha Washington Inn and Spa. And as we celebrate Abingdon, what better place to start than at the beginning? Here's Ryan A. Renfro with a look back at the history of Abingdon, Virginia.
Abingdon has always sat at a crossroads of commerce, of culture, of education, of ideas.
The animals, the bison, for example, would create trails. Indians would follow those trails to hunt the animals.
Abingdon was located on the Great Philadelphia Wagon Road, or it was called on early maps here just the Great Road, and that's really Main Street, Abingdon.
In the mid-18th century, Thomas Walker, a land speculator for the Crown, came to survey the land in this area all the way to the Cumberland Gap.
When these towns were settled, the people that were settling there, they couldn't bring anything with them, so they needed everything. And so that's how a big artisan community developed. And Abingdon, again, because of where it was and its prosperity, was drawing good, very good artisans early on.
In the latter half of the 18th century, another of Abingdon's most prominent forefathers arrived.
William King was one of the prominent developers in this area. He was from Ireland. He came over here and learned about some of the salt mining activity that had been started on a very light scale up around Saltville.
At 15, King had a regular apprenticeship in Philadelphia and learned to be a merchant.
He had a store where he sold all kinds of things like velvet ribbons, silk, all sort of things that you would not expect in what would be called the back country.
King died young, only 39, but his legacy still lies rooted in Abingdon and our region.
Abingdon was a crossroads of economic activity. It was good for people moving around. It was good for people doing business.
The arrival of the railroad changed the migration habits of those passing through the crossroads, bringing more and more people to the town, leading to the growth and expansion and the Abingdon we recognize today.
It's just a hub, and so I think that's its asset, is that we have things that are identified and they are stable and have persisted in all these years. Abingdon's practically perfect. I believe that.
For the full story on the history of Abingdon, you can head to our WCYB YouTube page or our website, WCYB.com.
And joining me now here at the beautiful and historic Martha Washington Inn is the mayor of Abingdon, Dwayne Anderson. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you all for being in the town of Abingdon. Thank you all for everything you are doing for the town of Abingdon and showcasing the town of Abingdon, #1.
We are happy to be here. So tell me just a little bit, what do you think makes Abingdon so special?
Well, it's a very historic town. We are what I call a tourist town. We rely on the Barter Theater, the Martha Washington Inn, the Virginia Creeper Trail. This is a destination for people that, want to come. There's something to do in this town for everyone. That's older people, younger people, any generation of people. There's something to do in this town for everyone.
Yes, and you run 2 restaurants here in the town, so places to eat as well.
We are a top food scene on the USA Today showcase of that. I do own a restaurant by the name of Dwayne & Company, and I'm employed at the Tavern Restaurant. We have one of the best food scenes here in Southwest Virginia, so this is just a place to come and lay and play, as I like to call it. Stay and play to enjoy yourselves.
All right, thank you so much, Mayor. Always great to have you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Casey.
Inn and Spa was originally built as a private residence back in 1832. Today it serves as a historic inn with rich tradition and several famous guests. News 5's Mara St. Marie is live upstairs with a look at some of its historic features. Mara.
As As you said, there is history everywhere. I'm actually here with sales manager Cheyenne Keeter, who has worked here for 3 years, and she's going to tell us a little bit about Cheyenne. What are we looking at here?
This is some of the photos of our faculty and the student body whenever it was a college. We've got pictures all over the wall, literally anywhere you look. My personal favorite is over here, though. This is some of the letters that the girls would get if they were, say, to leave their lights on past 10:30 when they would get in trouble.
And so the Martha is known for the events that you work tirelessly to plan. Can you tell me a little bit about what we can look forward to having soon?
Yes, our most recent one that we're going to be having here is our masquerade, March 7th. And then we're going to have like an Easter egg hunt. We're going to do a high tea for Mother's Day, and we've got plenty of other stuff coming up.
That sounds very exciting. So all of these events take place in the ballroom, which you will get the chance to see if you stick around when Heather Williams gives us sports. For now, back to you, Kristen.
Loved outdoor attractions in Abingdon is the Creeper Trail. We'll hear from the woman who created it coming up.
Plus, a time capsule from the 1950s with a modern touch. We'll take a closer look at the Moonlight Drive-In.
Staple in this community for several decades. It brings hundreds of thousands of visitors every year.
News 5's Liam Bridgman met with a longtime supporter of the trail who helped from the very beginning.
Who better to tell the history of the trail than the woman who lived it?
My favorite part is there right after Winterhelm through the woods.
This is Mary Ann Moore. She and her husband, Dr. Frenchmore, played an integral role in creating the trail that sees hundreds of thousands of visitors every year.
He and a friend had the dream of when the railroad closed, using the rails for a hiking, biking trail. That was their dream.
It took 10 years, but their dream came true, converting the former railway used by Norfolk and Western since the late 1890s into what it is today.
French, you know, he got a lot of people were not sure this was a good thing to do, and he got a lot of people pulling back from it, but he said it's going to be good for Abingdon and it's going to be good for Washington County, and it has been.
If you're lucky, you may see Mary Ann on the trails. She still walks about 3 times a week, and just maybe she'll give you a glimpse back at the creation of one of our region's greatest gems. In Abingdon, Liam Bridgman, News 5, WCYB.
Another location that is loved by tourists and the locals is the Abingdon Commons. It's located on 238 West Main Street, and it's the perfect place to get some shopping done and maybe a bite to eat. From coffee to pizza to even a fusion of Pakistani and Appalachian food, there is something for everyone. Delta Blues Barbecue is also there with Tumbling Cider Company for live music and trivia. The Appalachian Roots Trading Post provides a unique shopping experience, showcasing local artists and small businesses with their handmade goods. The Commons is open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Sunday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m.
One of the biggest shopping markets across our region got their start right here in Abingdon. A closer look at their story when we come back.
Looking for a date night or maybe some good family fun, the Moonlight Drive-In in Abingdon is the place to be on the weekends. It's been open for more than 70 years. News 5's Kaylee Harris takes us front and center.
In a world of modern technology, a time capsule to a different era sits in the heart of Abingdon. The Moonlight Drive-In first opened in 1949, a time when there were more than 4,500 drive-ins across America. Today, they are one of nearly 300 that still exist.
I think there's such a nostalgia to a drive-in theater that you can't get in an indoor theater. It's not, we don't just show movies, it's an experience. So, families have, come here for 77 years almost.
Renee and her husband took over the drive-in in 2025 after it had to be shut down.
It did close in 2013 because the movie industry switched to going from 35 millimeter film like this to digital, and the cost of a digital projector was a lot, and couldn't get the funding for that.
The drive-in officially reopened last summer after 15 months of renovations.
It was really, a community space, and we wanted to bring that. That's one of the reasons we bought it. We didn't want it to be destroyed. Abingdon is a very historic community, and so, it's a historic destination for a lot of people, and to keep that here, I think, was very important. I think it's very important to the community.
Moonlight Drive-In will kick off their season on March 20th with the movie Project Hail Mary. In Abingdon, Kaylee Harris, News 5, WCYB.
This Storm Track 5 weather forecast is sponsored by Eastman Credit Union.
In Virginia, and we definitely have had some off and on rain, but the sky has cleared. We've got cloudy skies, but even some peaks of sunshine trying to show through now as we check out that live shot from downtown Abingdon. The temperatures now have climbed up into the upper 50s to low 60s across much of the area. In fact, as we check out the current temperature now in Abingdon, the temperature's at 59 degrees with mostly cloudy skies currently, and the dew point has come up, so it has been kind of humid today, but it also is looking like we'll see some fairly quiet weather for the rest of tonight, at least the evening hours, but there is some clearing skies across northeast Tennessee, parts of southwest Virginia. That's going to continue to move northward. We still have some strong storms moving across eastern portions of Kentucky into West Virginia, and some severe potential here across portions of the Ohio Valley, where we have a tornado watch currently in effect, and we do have a level 2 to level 3 risk of severe weather in that area as we go through the next couple of hours. Now, we're not expecting severe weather, but through the evening, quiet conditions expected, but after midnight, some of those showers and possibly a thunderstorm or two approaching the Kentucky-Virginia border. And between about 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., some of those showers, maybe thunder showers, will be pushing across the Tri-Cities. By 7 a.m., the focus already beginning to shift south and east of the Tri-Cities, with lows definitely on the mild side in the 50s. But it will be a breezy, gusty day on Friday, maybe a morning shower, but that should be pretty early, and many may already have it cleared by that time we get up in the morning. But sunshine returns. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s, and it looks like we'll see temperatures from around 65 to 68 in the Tri-Cities, low 60s across some of the higher elevations and southwestern Virginia. Now, Saturday morning, still fairly mild, upper 30s to low 40s, mid 40s for lows, but the colder air is going to start coming in. Doesn't look like we'll have a whole lot of rain activity on Saturday, about a 40% chance of showers with a mix of clouds and sunshine, breezy at times as we go through Saturday. But I do want to show what happens on our future track as we go through later Saturday night into Sunday morning. Chance of scattered rain showers changing to snow showers and flurries into Sunday morning, and then as we go through the day, favoring the mountains for the higher percentage chance of snow showers and more persistent snow showers, but a few flurries, scattered snow shower even in the Tri-Cities on Sunday with gusty winds and much, much colder air. Take a look. Temperatures on Saturday about 55 to 60 and only around the upper 30s to near 40 in the Tri-Cities Sunday with the gusty winds, some afternoon sun poking through in addition to those snow showers, especially for the higher elevations where temperatures will struggle in the lower 30s for temperatures. We do expect even colder weather to arrive on Monday with perhaps a few scattered flurries continuing, maybe a mountain or snow shower or two still lingering into Monday as well. But take a look. With gusty winds, highs will only reach around 30 to 35, and lows will be in the 20s. Wind chills, of course, are going to be much lower than that on Monday. It does appear we'll start to see temperatures warm up gradually into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It looks like Wednesday night and Thursday, our next chance of rain.
Storm Track 5 weather cameras are sponsored by Ingalls.
An iconic staple here in our region has its headquarters right here in Abingdon.
Food City started right here as a warehouse known as the Abingdon Grocery Company. That was until 1993 when the first Abingdon Food City store opened. The store moved into the Meadows development in 2019. President and CEO of Food City, Steve Smith, says the store would not be what it is today if it did not have Abingdon as its backbone. He says the friendly culture and mountainous landscape have made it a place Food City employees are happy to be a part of.
We recruit a fair amount of people to come to work for our company that haven't lived in a small town. And pretty soon they fall in love with Abingdon, with the Barter Theater, with the mountains, with the lakes, with all the activities.
And Steve Smith tells us that Abingdon's business-friendly attitude also makes it the perfect home for its headquarters.
Hey friends, we're out to lunch, evening edition at Dwayne & Company, 266 East Main Street in Abingdon. The owner says it's easy to find. They're right next door to the historic Frost Funeral Home here in downtown. It's a true taste of Americana. He says it's an Abingdon gathering spot. So come inside, let's eat.
Band is bringing Appalachian sound to the Abingdon Cultural Center. What that's about coming up next.
Sky 5 is sponsored by Steve Huff Plumbing, Heating and Air. Your Town's 70th Anniversary Edition in Abingdon is brought to you by Carey Street Partners.
In 2026, joining me now is Adam Bolt with Visit Abingdon. Adam, a lot going on here. What are some things people can expect in the near future and in the months ahead here in Abingdon?
Well, tonight, Casey, we actually, at our farmers market, we have kind of an underground art festival that happens once a month called Art, Vintage, and Vinyl. It's vintage clothing, pop-up, and art. Vinyl records. Vintage is always in styles, and that happens Thursday every month. So that's going on right now. You can come down to Abingdon and check that out. Also at the Barter Theater this month, we have Trains, which is the first play that was fully developed, part of the Black Voices and Black Stories initiative through the Barter Theater, and I've heard great things about that, so that goes on to the end of the month. So lots happening in the winter, shoulder months in Abingdon.
Then the spring months will be here. Before you know, what are some highlights coming up in the spring?
We're going to bring back the Soapbox Derby, which was something we did last year, which is fun for the whole community, just some old school Americana fun, and that'll be towards the end of the summer.
Awesome. Adam, thank you so much for joining us, coming out here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Casey. Now, the Fiddlers Convention is one of the many festivals that happens in Abingdon. News 5's Natalia Hillen is live with some of the festival organizers and musicians at the Southwest Virginia Cultural Center. Natalia.
Center here in Abingdon. This place has been here since 2011. It's known as the Hardwood, the gateway to Southwest Virginia. There's tons of visitors that are welcome here from all over the world, I'm told. And there is a marketplace as well. And I am also joined by a Fiddlers Convention band and joined by Tanya Triplett. She is a committee member board. Hi, Tanya. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So first off, can you talk to me about what the Fiddlers Convention is and what people can expect from it?
Absolutely. The Fiddlers Convention is a bluegrass and old-time music competition and an opportunity for young musicians, adults, and bands to showcase their talents.
That's amazing. This is the third weekend of June, as always, June 19th and the 20th. And what is the youth scholarship that you guys have going on?
We started a scholarship fund a couple of years ago, the Asher Hurley Scholarship Fund, and Asher was a young musician who was killed in an accident at the age of 12. Asher and his dad were building this guitar at the time of his accident. Keith, Keith, Asher's dad, has built a couple of guitars the past couple of years for a raffle to support the scholarship fund. So it's been an honor and a privilege for us to walk alongside Asher's family to honor him while also assisting young musicians with support to be able to take classes and workshops or purchase instruments of their own. So this scholarship fund, you can purchase tickets for $20 a ticket or $6 for $100 during the convention.
Thank you for joining me, Tanya. I appreciate it. We're going to head over to Tyler now. Tyler Hughes, you are the executive director of the Crooked Road. Just talk to me about what that is and why it's so important to Southwest Virginia.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the Crooked Road is Virginia's heritage music trail. We're a 300-mile-long driving trail here in Southwest Virginia, and we showcase places like the Southwest Virginia Cultural Center, the Carter Family Fold, birthplace of country music, all these places that feature bluegrass and old-time music.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'll have more coming up on News 5 with the Abingdon Fiddlers Convention Band over here. So stay tuned. Reporting live in Abingdon, Natalia Hillen, News 5 WCYB.
Thank you very much, Natalia. For decades, a beloved summer tradition has been bringing music, art, and the community together to downtown Abingdon. News 5's Jonya Nordello shows us what the Virginia Highlands Festival means to our region.
The sound of live music, the chatter of people, and generations of tradition. This is what organizers tell me the Virginia Highlands Festival is all about.
In everything that we do, we weave that into our purpose. When we look at our programming, how does this represent Abingdon? How does it represent our region in Southwest Virginia?
The festival has been a summertime staple since 1949. Executive producer Deidre Cole tells me every event from arts and crafts to music and local food is designed to reflect the culture of our region. Along with crowd favorites like the hot air balloons, the festival continues to bring families together generation after generation.
It is a revival of that spirit of festivals from yesteryear, where there's so many things for a family to do, and we've kept it at little to no cost.
With more than 75 years of history, the Virginia Highlands Festival is a staple in showing off what Southwest Virginia has to offer.
We have a corner of the world that is like no other. Everything from our ecosystem to our arts and crafts, our traditions, the things that we value makes the festival very special.
In Abingdon, Jonya Nordello, News 5 WCYB.
Still ahead, an Abingdon veteran is keeping history alive by recording other veteran stories, how you can take part.
And tonight, Sullivan County leaders will discuss accepting funding for the sheriff's office role in federal immigration operations, what this could mean moving forward.
The Sullivan County Commission is getting set to meet tonight for a controversial meeting after 29 illegal immigrants were detained a week ago by federal immigration officers. News 5's Liam Bridgman will be in that meeting tonight.
I'm outside the Sullivan County Courthouse where the County Commission is getting set to meet to discuss several topics, including the potential of accepting over $100,000 from the federal government for the Sheriff's Office participation in ICE enforcement. I'll have this full story tonight on News 5.
Carter County Schools addressing social media claims involving a school photography company and alleged past corporate ties to Jeffrey Epstein. According to Carter County school officials, LifeTouch, a school photography company, is owned by Apollo Global Management, and the firm's former CEO, Leon Black, allegedly had personal business dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. However, Black has not been affiliated with the company since 2021. Some Carter County parents say the online claims are concerning. News 5's Natalia Hillen will have more on this story tonight on News 5. As we celebrate America's 250th birthday this year, we're telling stories of patriotism and history. Today, we're learning about the military service of Army veteran Julianne Miles from Abingdon. Captain Julianne Miles' 11-year career included tours in Germany, the Gulf War, and Somalia. She now helps preserve history by recording the stories of veterans from Southwest Virginia.
Capturing those memories is important for people who come after us, to have a memory of what that was really like.
If you would like to have your story preserved, you can reach out to the Veterans of Southwest Virginia Video Project by calling the town of Abingdon. For additional coverage, tune in to News 5 at 11 or head to WCYB.com. We'll be right back after the break with more of our 70th anniversary celebration in Abingdon. Stay with us.
Sky 5 is sponsored by Steve Huff Plumbing, Heating and Air. Forecast is sponsored by Eastman Credit Union.
Hey everybody, I'm live with the Storm Tracker here just outside the Martha, Washington in downtown Abingdon, Virginia. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on right now. The important thing is it's not raining anymore. We've got some dry weather. Sunshine has been trying to peek through the clouds here from time to time, but right now I can show you that temperatures are mild. We got a current number at the Virginia Highlands Airport of 59 degrees near Abingdon there, and we do have definitely some clearing skies from what it was like maybe a couple of hours ago. In fact, we've had some clearing skies across much of the area, and it looks like that will continue as we go through the evening hours, and still some strong, even locally severe storms in eastern Kentucky, southern portions of West Virginia, but even a stronger risk of severe weather across portions of the Ohio Valley. You can see southwest of Indianapolis, there is a couple of storms there producing possibly a tornado, and that's where the risk of severe weather is going to be here over the next couple of hours. We don't have a risk of really any severe weather. In fact, dry weather through midnight for us, but some of those showers and thunder showers that are out to the west will start pushing into near the Kentucky-Virginia border around or after midnight. Probably between about 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. we'll see our rain chances increase in the Tri-Cities. Could be a thunderstorm as it moves through, but again, severe threat fairly low, but there could be some brief downpours. And by 7 a.m., things are beginning to wind down with mild lows only dropping into the 50s, and sunshine getting back with us, I think, for much of the day on Friday. Could be a shower, especially east and south of the Tri-Cities in the morning. Gusty winds, though. West winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusts up around 30, but it will be fairly mild, though, with highs reaching the 60s, mid to upper 60s in the Tri-Cities, and still kind of mild tomorrow night, but that cold air is going to start moving in this weekend. Not so much on Saturday, but as it begins pushing in, mix of clouds and sunshine at times on Saturday. There could be a passing shower, about a 40% chance during the day. However, as that colder air really starts to come in with an upper level disturbance feeding in the colder air, we could see some rain changing to snow showers overnight into Sunday morning, favoring the mountains, but there could be a period of that in the Tri-Cities as well. And during the day Sunday, could be a few flurries, maybe a snow shower in the Tri-Cities, gusty winds, but still snow showers probably fairly widespread in the mountains and across parts of Southwest Virginia. But highs on Saturday only reaching around 55 to 60, and then only in the 30s on Sunday with the gusty winds. The wind should be down in the 20s, teens in the mountains, and then on Monday with the flurries, chance of flurries continuing, there will be some afternoon sun peeking through those clouds, I think, Monday, but it will be brutally cold compared to the warm weather we've had lately. But the cool off will be continuing into Tuesday, lows near 20, highs in low 40s, and by Wednesday, we start to move back up, and highs will be probably back in the 50s by Wednesday and Thursday, with a chance of a few scattered showers. Again, it looks like Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So it looks like quite a topsy-turvy weather pattern as we go through the next week or so, but I think the main thrust of what I want to emphasize is the big cool down coming away for the early part of next week.
Storm Track 5 weather cameras are sponsored by Ingalls.
Hey, friends, we are out to lunch, or in this case, out to eat this evening at Dwayne & Company in Abingdon, the heart of Abingdon, and a great family location. Dwayne Anderson's the owner. He's with us. We're going to talk a little about what's on the menu and what makes this place great. I've got a vision of what we're going to get to have for dinner this evening. You guys have an incredible-looking menu.
Thank you very much, and I want to say thanks, Preston, for you all showcasing us on WCYB today. I've got a lot of things that I'm going to bring out for you today. I'm going to bring out some starters. We'll start out with the cheese curds. Then we're going to go to a couple of my lunch favorites, and then I've got one of my dinner favorites on there I'd like everyone to see as well, too.
And we'll do that coming up a bit later on here this evening as we do out to lunch evening style. But let's talk about what makes Dwayne & Company special. You guys started as a truck, and you've grown into a brick and mortar.
We started as a food truck, a small man operation of probably about 9 people on the team, which we've evolved now into a brick and mortar. We're now at 266 East Main Street here in Abingdon, right beside Frost Funeral Home. We are just what I would call the gathering place. This is a place we're kid-friendly. You know, the prices are reasonable, and, you know, the proportions are great. And I would be nothing if it wasn't for this community here that we have here in the town of Abingdon, Virginia.
You mentioned the gathering place. It's a taste of Americana. Looking at this menu, you got some great things, including, you know, a tavern stagecoach. That kind of ties back to another spot here in town.
Yeah, I've been employed at the tavern for 20 years. I've got a couple of business partners. We're all employed at the tavern, and we were just trying to find that niche in between tavern and like lunch style, what we could do, and boom, we came up with, you know, the food truck, which now has evolved, like I said, into 266 Dwayne & Company restaurant.
And you're on East Main Street. Make sure you get that east part there. You'll end up somewhere else.
East Main, yes, East Main, yes,
You
sir.
definitely want to get that. But what do you think really shines off this menu? I know we're going to see some stars a little bit later, but what do you think it really is?
Well, the things that I really think shine on here, the one thing like you showcased at the tavern, you know, we have that tavern stagecoach on there, the blackened beef tips, port wine reduction, blue cheese crumbles on a bed of deep fried spinach.
Wow.
That is one of our top sellers.
Sounds delicious.
At the tavern. It's also one of our top sellers here at Dwayne & Company as well, too. We're also going to be showing showcasing our smash burger, which, you know, the smash burger was a great seller in the food truck, which now it's a great seller on the plate here at Dwayne & Company as well, too.
All right, I can't wait to try it. We're going to do that coming up later on here. We are out to lunch evening style at Dwayne & Company on East Main Street in Abingdon. Back in a little while.
One of the most iconic landmarks in Abingdon is the historic Barter Theater. Rebecca Pepin will join us live from Barter coming up on News 5 at 6.
Your Town's 70th Anniversary Edition in Abingdon is brought to you by Carey Street Partners.
Welcome into News 5 at 6. We are in Abingdon, Virginia, live at the beautiful and historic Martha Washington Inn as WCYB celebrates 70 years.
So nice to be here in Abingdon. We are at the Martha Washington. Rebecca Pepin is right across the street at the Barter Theater. Rebecca, what is going on over there?
Your costume shop is incredible. We're talking about 12,000 square feet with racks and racks of clothing. So many beautiful costumes here and lots of machinery, sewing machines, intricate things, needles, thread, you name it. Oh my gosh, they put a lot of work into this. Any production that they do takes many months of work. And when they do a period piece like Three Musketeers coming up on March 14th, whoa, get to work, folks. They have a wig designer, they have a pattern maker. It is just incredible the work that goes into it. Now, this is Cardinal Richelieu from the Three Musketeers, and he is going to be in one of the fight scenes He's a bad guy, in case you didn't know. You need to come see this. It's going to be incredible. I'm going to talk a little bit about the costume design with Kelly Jenkins. She is the costume designer and the costume shop foreman. Oh my gosh, you have to get the sword out and crack the whip here to get people to work, don't you?
Oh, they're pretty good workers here.
They're incredible. Now, talk to me a little bit about the secret trick that you told me about. When someone is involved in a fight scene, you have to do something pretty neat to make sure there's movement involved, or that they are allowed to do the movement.
So being in a fight means you have to do a lot of movement. You have to lunge and really raise your sword. So what we do is attach the sleeves only on the top, but not the bottom. That way they can raise all the way up. And also, we put splits in the back so they have even more movement.
That is pretty incredible. So if you want to check out these amazing costumes, this is the original design. You got to come see Three Musketeers. It opens on March 14th. You've got to check it out and really appreciate the work that goes on behind the scenes. Back to you guys. Barter Theater began humbly during the Great Depression. Founder Robert Porterfield, who'd acted on Broadway, had a brilliant idea. Bring his starving actor friends from New York City to rural Southwest Virginia to perform, with audience members trading produce and the like for admission. Hence the name.
People could bring tomatoes. The first thing that was traded was a little baby pig, and they had it on a leash out front, and it squealed and told people to come to the show.
Barter Theater is where many playwrights, directors, and actors have gotten their start, including Gregory Peck, Patricia Neal, and Ned Beatty, whose family actually scattered his ashes in Abingdon. Local actor Rick McVeigh spent 17 years as part of Barter, one of the longest-running professional repertory theaters in the country.
This place is so historic, and there's so many great actors who have come through this theater over the years. And you feel the sense of that when you first start, you know, because there's an aura about it.
The Barter Theater, a community gem with a storied history and so many more standing ovations to come.
I think it's something that we as human beings will always need. I don't care what form of entertainment might be out there, whether it's virtual reality, anything, it's still not the same as being in a room with a bunch of live people telling stories that reach them on a level that nothing else can do.
For additional content about the Barter Theater, you can head to our website or our YouTube channel at WCYB.com.
Yeah, guys, so you had mentioned the Barter Theater earlier. Well, I'm downstairs in the restaurant right now with Chef Bobby Bonds, who has more than 30 years of fine dining experience and has something very exciting to share about the Barter Theater.
So we're going to be offering a 3 for $35 menu for our Barter patrons. So it'll feature a choice of soup, salad, a choice of 2 different entrees, and a complimentary dessert for $35 for our patrons that are attending Barter shows.
You can't beat that at all. And I've heard you've also got some new things coming as well. What else do you guys have going on?
So we're getting ready to roll out our new spring summer menu on March 20th, as well as a brunch that'll be open to the Abingdon locals starting on the 22nd from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock.
And so I know I've also heard you guys are bringing a new spring summer menu as well. What can we look forward to on that menu?
Everything from like a blackberry balsamic crusted duck breast over a parsnip mash with blistered Brussels sprouts and a carrot ginger jus to a shepherd's pie. So a lot of local ingredients.
Well, it sounds absolutely delicious, and I cannot wait to try it at some point as well. I'm going to throw it back to you guys for now.
Mara, thank you very much. Abingdon is a hub for art with a rich history of local artists working to support the future of the craft. A closer look at one of the local art museums coming up.
And we're taking you to the oldest tavern in the state of Virginia.
Sky 5 is sponsored by Steve Huff Plumbing, Heating and Air.
We Salute You is brought to you by Johnson City Honda.
We
We continue our salute to local veterans and active military personnel. Tonight, we recognize Orban Sanford Phelps of Abingdon, Virginia. Orban served in the U.S. Army during World War II. Orban Sanford Phelps, we thank you for your service, and we salute you.
Abingdon's William King Museum of Art serving as a hub. It showcases our region's art history and supports its future. Here's News 5's Caleb Perney.
It's about making world-class artwork available to a public that generally doesn't get to see that kind of artwork.
The William King Museum has become a hub for art across Southwest Virginia. Named for an early settler who donated his land for a school, now the museum.
We bring in contemporary artists from the region because we like to spotlight our contemporary artists. And we also try and curate objects and artifacts, craft from local history.
That local history, including this pottery from the 19th century, from when Abingdon was a hub of commerce.
Immigrants that would go out west to start up farms would come through here.
The museum isn't just art of our region. Temporary exhibits also showcase art around the world, and staff are training the next generation.
I think it's really important to keep the idea of creativity and making things valuable for our region.
They have programs for kids and adults, both at the museum and in the community, ranging from painting to photography and even digital art. The next step, construction going on now for a new collection of nature art. In Abingdon, Caleb Perney, News 5 WCYB.
Coming up after the break, we head outside of the Martha for a look at the forecast from Dave Dirks.
And we are back out to lunch evening style at Dwayne & Company in Abingdon, Virginia. Dwayne Anderson with us. Dwayne, you have set down a feast in front of us. Let's hit the highlights. What have we got here?
All right, well, let's start off with our smash burger here. And then we have on our appetizer side of things, we have cheese curds and that's served with our homemade caramel sauce.
Which, by the way, I've already sampled. Is delicious mixing the two together. I was cheating a moment ago.
This is our cowboy cheesesteak here, served with our onion rings and de-drizzled sauce.
Okay.
And then here's one of my dinner menu. We just started doing our dinner entrees maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago. This is a teriyaki glazed salmon with orzo pasta and broccolini.
Wonderful.
Our soup today is going to be a tomato bisque soup. And then the one that you have in front of you, this is kind of like a play off of our sister restaurant, the Tavern up the street. It's called the Stagecoach. Blackened beef tips, port wine reduction, blue cheese crumbles on a bed of deep fried spinach. Wow. And then on the dessert side of things,
I was going to say we got to hit these desserts.
On the dessert side of things, I've got homemade peanut butter pie, and then our take on the homemade oatmeal cream pie.
All right, I want to dig into this. This is an Abingdon classic here from just up the road at the Tavern. And so I need to take this and then dip it?
Sir, dip
All right, I want to make sure I dip this and do it correctly. That is really good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We are at Dwayne & Company. Address again?
266 East Main Street, right beside our fellow partners, Frost Funeral Home.
Make sure you get the East Main. Thanks for having us out for Out to Lunch evening style. We're going to finish having dinner. Dwayne, great as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to finish having dinner. We'll see you back here at East Main Street at Dwayne & Company.
Hope to see you soon.
This Storm Track 5 weather forecast is sponsored by Eastman Credit Union.
Hey everybody, I'm live outside the Martha Washington where I'm doing a little valet parking and the weather tonight with the storm tracker. How's that? Hey, the weather has cleared up nicely. Still some clouds, but it's dry. Let's take a look live downtown here. West Main Street, you can see the Martha Washington and our grandeur there. And current temperature now in Abingdon is 57 degrees, the southwest wind at 6. Looks like we'll have dry weather for the evening hours with some partly cloudy skies. And as we go beyond midnight, though, a cold front's going to arrive with some scattered showers and thunder showers approaching the southwest West Virginia border around 1 or 2 in the morning, and between 2 and 4, we will see some of those rain showers and possibly a thunderstorm come across the Tri-Cities by 7 a.m. Much of the activity already south and east of the Tri-Cities, with lows only dropping to around 55 to 60 in the Tri-Cities. Maybe a morning shower, especially south and east early on Friday. Clearing, windy, and a little bit cooler, but still mild with highs mainly in the 60s. Looks like we'll see slightly cooler temperatures tomorrow night in the upper 30s to mid 40s, but there is that cold air that I'm talking about. It's not going to be so pronounced on Saturday, but there will be some scattered showers, about a 40% chance. But much of Saturday does look dry, mix of clouds and sunshine, but as that colder air, upper level disturbance swing through later Saturday night into Sunday morning, I do expect a possibility of a period of some snow showers and flurries. Better chance in the mountains, but in the Tri-Cities possibly as well, and could be a few flurries and mountain snow showers continuing during the day with highs on Saturday about 55 to 60, so, still a little bit above average, but the real cold air arrives on Sunday with gusty winds, a few flurries, maybe a snow shower, more persistent snow showers in the mountains, but highs will only reach the 30s to around 40, near the freezing in the mountains. And on Monday, we could see some sunshine with a few scattered flurries continuing, highs low to mid 30s, 20s in the mountains. Wind chills, of course, are going to be kind of brutal as cold as well, with those winds gusting at times. As we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll start to warm up gradually with some sunshine, some showers again by Wednesday night and Thursday.
Well, when you think of NASCAR in this area, your mind first goes to Bristol. But did you know Abingdon was once home to 2 NASCAR race teams? Heather has that story next in sports.
Storm Track 5 weather cameras are sponsored by Ingalls. With complete coverage from both sides of the state line, this is the State Line Sports Zone.
Welcome into sports, coming tonight from inside this beautiful ballroom at the Martha. When it comes to sports in Abingdon, Virginia, of course, you have the Abingdon Falcons, who are one of the top high school programs in the area. You also have hiking and biking and outdoor activities to your heart's content. But there was a time when Abingdon was a racing mecca. If this plot of land in Abingdon could talk, the legends that walk between these walls, there would be some unbelievable stories that originated from this campus, which once housed both Henderson Motorsports and Morgan McClure Racing.
We were neighbors. Our race shop was next door to Charlotte.
McClure and his partner Tim Morgan opened Morgan McClure Motorsports in 1983, building a NASCAR Cup Series car for Connie Saylor and a young up-and-coming driver named Mark Martin. Names like Lenny Pond, Rick Wilson, and Lake Speed also drove for McClure. Ernie Irvin finally got the first win for the team at their home track, Bristol.
We were struggling. And like he said, we put Ernie in the car, and all of a sudden, we had an extra 200 horsepower.
Irvin would go on to win 6 more times for Morgan McClure, including the 1991 Daytona 500. Driving Sterling Marlin would add 2 more wins in the sport's biggest race in 1994 and 95.
And the winner of the 1995 Daytona 500 is again Sterling Marlin.
Meanwhile, their neighbor was building its legacy in NASCAR's lower series, first in what's now known as the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and then later in the Craftsman Truck Series.
It's pretty special because, all your teams are out of Charlotte, Mooresville, and here we are in Abingdon, Virginia.
Morgan McClure Motorsports closed its doors in 2012, but Henderson Motorsports is open and running races even to this day. After 40 years of being neighbors and friends, Larry McClure and Charlie Henderson passed away within a few weeks of each other last summer. Well, Von, final look at your forecast when we come back.
Tonight, we take you to one of the oldest buildings in Southwest Virginia, a place where history is not just remembered, it's also served daily.
In the heart of Abingdon, the tavern has been welcoming travelers for almost 250 years, and it is the oldest tavern in the Commonwealth.
At the heart of historic Abingdon sits one of the oldest surviving buildings west of the Blue Ridge, the tavern, originally built in 1779.
The building itself is still probably
70% original.
Today, Josh Fuller operates it as a lively restaurant and bar, but its walls hold centuries of American history. From its early days as a tavern and overnight inn, the building has worn many hats, including post office, general store, bakery, cabinet shop, and even a Civil War hospital.
The town of Abingdon is wonderful because you get to go up and down the main street. You get to see all these old buildings as they were, 100 years ago and older.
Over the years, presidents, statesmen, and designers have stopped for a rest under this roof. Today, visitors come for the food, the atmosphere, and the stories embedded in its original stone walls.
It's a place where families come to celebrate. It's a place where business deals get done. It's a place where, people stop in after they've been away and they meet here and they catch up. So it's wonderful to see that kind of community connection with this business.
A living piece of history, still serving the community nearly 250 years after it first opened.
Well, that is a wrap from the Martha Washington Inn and Spa. It's been a great day. I want to thank Carey Street Partners for sponsoring today's show, and we have so many people behind the scenes and on there that have done so much work for a month to get ready for this.
Yes, thank you to our production team, everyone that has made this happen, everyone back in Bristol working on this. We appreciate everyone. And of course, you can